The Great Assembly had never seen anything like it. Representatives from 17 different species sat in the vast circular chamber aboard the neutral station Concordia, their various forms of biology creating a symphony of clicks, growls, and electronic hums. At the center of the gathering stood Ambassador Sarah Chen, the first human to address the Galactic War Council since Earth's recent admission to the Coalition. General Vorthak of the Krex Empire leaned forward on his 6 chitinous legs, mandibles clicking with impatience. "Human," he rasped through his translator, "your species has been observed in 3 separate conflicts. Each time you achieved victory through methods our strategist cannot comprehend. Explain." The other representatives stirred with interest. The humans had indeed puzzled them. In the Battle of Kepler 442, human forces had cornered a Yithran raiding fleet but allowed them to retreat with their wounded. In the Proxima incident, human ships had rescued enemy survivors from a destroyed dreadnought. Most baffling of all, after the siege of New Geneva, humans had provided medical aid to the very Skarn warriors who had bombarded their colonies. Sarah smiled, a gesture that several species found unsettling due to the display of teeth. "We won because we showed mercy." The chamber erupted. Admiral Zythex of the Talon fleet spread his metallic wings in confusion. Translation error detected. Please clarify unknown term. Mercy. Commander Brix of the Skarn Collective slammed a massive fist against his console. "Your translators function perfectly, Admiral. The word simply has no equivalent in our languages." Sarah looked around the chamber with growing realization. "You don't understand the concept at all, do you?" The vegan representative, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline form, pulsed with curiosity. "Elaborate on this." "Mercy." "Mercy," Sarah began, "is choosing not to destroy your enemy when you have the power to do so. It's showing compassion to those who have wronged you. It's the decision to heal rather than harm, even when harm would be justified." General Vorthak's head tilted at an impossible angle. This sounds like weakness. Why would a superior force allow inferiors to survive? "Because," Sarah said, walking to the center of the chamber, "mercy isn't weakness. It's strength under control. It's the most powerful choice a warrior can make." The reptilian Thracic delegation hissed in unison. "Impossible," their speaker declared. "Victory demands the complete destruction of opposition. This is the law of survival." Sarah nodded thoughtfully. "That's exactly what we thought you'd say. That's why mercy is our greatest weapon." The chamber fell silent. Even the ambient humming of life support systems seemed muted. "Consider this," Sarah continued. "The Yithran fleet we allowed to escape, they returned to their homeworld and spoke of human honor. Within a standard year, 3 Yithran colonies had requested human protection treaties. The Skarn warriors we treated for radiation poisoning, they returned to their clans carrying stories of humans who healed their enemies. The Skarn Collective's opinion of humanity shifted from pest to be eliminated to worthy adversary to be respected. Fleet Commander Zestar of the Nephilim spoke for the first time, her voice like grinding metal. "You suggest that sparing enemies creates allies?" "Not just allies," Sarah replied. "True allies. When someone shows you mercy when they could destroy you, it changes something fundamental in how you see them. Fear commands obedience, but mercy inspires loyalty." The debate that followed lasted 14 standard hours. Half the species present, those born from predator stock or forged in constant warfare, couldn't grasp the concept. To them, mercy was an alien notion, literally incomprehensible. The Krex had no word for it. The Skarn considered it a mental illness. The Nephilim classified it as a tactical error, but the other half began to understand. Admiral Zethex, whose people had evolved from scavengers, spoke slowly. "On Talon Prime, we have a saying, 'The strong eat the weak.' But you suggest, the EU, strong can choose not to eat?" "Exactly," Sarah said. "And in choosing not to eat, they become stronger than hunger itself." Commander Ylith of the peaceful Etherians, whose crystalline form shimmered with emotion, pulsed brightly. My people understand this concept, though we never had a word for it. We call it the choice that proves you are truly alive. As the session concluded, Sarah noticed something remarkable happening. The species that understood mercy began gravitating toward each other, while those that couldn't formed their own group. The chamber was physically dividing along philosophical lines. General Vorthak approached Sarah as the assembly dispersed. "Human Chen," he said, "I find your concept disturbing. To show weakness when you could show strength violates every instinct my people possess." Sarah met his compound gaze steadily. "General, I understand. But consider this. Every species here fears you because you've never shown mercy. They obey you because they have no choice. But they'll never trust you, never truly follow you, never sacrifice for you willingly. Power built on fear alone is brittle. It shatters the moment something stronger comes along." Vorthak's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "And you believe this? Mercy makes you stronger?" "I believe it makes us more than strong," Sarah replied. "It makes us human." As Vorthak departed, Admiral Zythex approached. "Ambassador Chen, my fleet wishes to formally request joint training exercises with human forces. We wish to learn more about this mercy of yours." Sarah smiled again, and this time, Zythex didn't find it unsettling at all. "Admiral, it would be our honor." In the months that followed, the galaxy began to understand why humans had risen so quickly from a single-world species to a galactic power. It wasn't their technology, their tactics, or their tenacity, though all were formidable. It was their ability to turn enemies into allies, to find strength in restraint, and to win wars not by destroying their opponents, but by transforming them. The concept of mercy spread slowly through the galaxy, carried by those who had experienced it firsthand. And wherever it took root, something unprecedented began to happen. Genuine peace. Not the peace of the conquered, but the peace of the converted. Some species would never understand, but those that did found themselves part of something larger than any empire built on fear could ever be. A true galactic community, bound not by force but by choice. And at its heart stood humanity, the species that had taught the galaxy that the greatest victory wasn't in destroying your enemies, but in convincing them they never needed to be your enemies at all.